I don't support the DSA agenda as has been articulated by the DSA itself. Now, you're going to have individual members who have been elected in Democratic primaries, and if they are elected in the general in November, will be part of the House Democratic Caucus. It's going to be a broad caucus. There will be progressives, there will be New Dems, there will be Blue Dogs. What I'm excited about are the candidates who are running to flip seats in November to deliver us a majority that pushes back against Donald Trump's extremism and moves the country in the right direction.
That was House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on Sunday discussing the party's midterm candidates who have aligned with the Democratic Socialists of America. Joining us now for a debate on the subject, former New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio and MS Now political analyst Matthew Bartlett. Matthew is a former Trump appointee at the State Department during Trump's first administration. My thanks to you both for being here. Mr. Mayor, we'll start with you. You're not a member of DSA, not a socialist, but certainly a progressive politician. Why do you think right now there is so much energy in that part of the party, the real left part of the Democratic Party?
First of all, Jonathan, that part of the party cannot be blamed for the status quo in this country. And this is really, really important. I think mainstream Democrats, unfortunately, were identified with elitism in many ways. They were identified with complacency. They were seen as out of touch. That's the story of 2024. If we in 2024 had a vigorous message of change and separating from some of the things that didn't go so well for Joe Biden, I think we win that election, honestly. But now you've got candidates. It helps that they are charismatic. It helps that they're young and energetic. But they also can say plausibly, we didn't create this situation, and we're offering really sharp change. And when you look at the polling, it's quite striking. You know, I respect Hakeem Jeffries a lot, but I disagree with him when he said on Sunday he wouldn't vote for Medicare for all. That's a majority position in America now. Higher taxes on millionaires and billionaires, majority position. Changing our policies in the Middle East, getting out of the Iran war, majority positions. So I think these new candidates, it's not about the DSA platform. It's about they represent actually views that are increasingly where the American people are. And a lot of them are just good candidates, dynamic candidates.
So what do you say, though? There's a fear among some Democrats that they think that the Republicans will take these DSA members or DSA-aligned candidates and then put them up as a symbol and say, this is what the whole Democratic Party stands for. And they paint with a broad brush. And that gives them an easy line of attack.
I'm really sick of the hand-wringing in the Democratic Party, honestly, because some of it is fear of change. You got these candidates winning fair and square. And the ones who are running good campaigns are winning. Mamdani, amazing campaign last year, I think set the message of affordability for the whole country. El Sayed won fair and square against massive resources. Hong didn't win, wasn't as good a candidate. I think we should recognize the primary process is producing strong candidates. And we haven't always had that. Let's be honest. We lost in a lot of places in recent years we shouldn't have lost because we didn't have a sharp message. We didn't have strong candidates. This year may be one of the best crops of Democratic candidates, moderates and progressives. But everyone's talking about affordability with energy. That came from the left. Let's be honest about it.